Hey Max Impactors, I have a great video today. I wanted to go to more of a no-waste lifestyle, and what I thought of is one of the things I wanted to do is get a produce bag instead of using those plastic bags that you pull out at the store. And what we're going to do is I came to my sewing expert, my mom here, and we're going to make these, which are little produce bags, and we're using mosquito netting for the bag. We have a piece of mosquito netting right here, and the measurements that we're using are 14 inches down at the bottom. It was 36 inches, and what we did was we folded this mosquito netting in half, and we have the pins right here at the top, which is an inch and a half from the top. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew from here down to the bottom, and on both sides, and we don't have to do the bottom because this is folded in half. Now we're at the sewing machine, and we have our mosquito netting here, and if you remember, we had that needle in that was an inch and a half down, and I placed the needle there, pulled that out, and now we're going to try to sew along the edge. So we're going to start by going a little bit forward, a little bit back, and then we're going to go all the way back down the line. As we do it, we're going to try to keep this edge here, if you can see where my finger's pointing, straight. You don't want this to get crooked where it's like the bags aren't lined up anymore. So let's get started. I'm going to take a few stitches forward. That's it. And then I'm going to hit this button here, and that's going to bring it back. A couple stitches. Okay, now we're going to start going down the edge. Now we were talking about this project with the mosquito netting. We really like the mosquito netting because you can see through the bag, and it's a little you can also get air into it, so it aerates whatever you have in there a little bit. Now once we get down to the bottom here, we're going to do a few back stitches, and then we're going to stitch it again with a zigzag stitch.
You're doing a very nice job.
I'm getting faster, aren't I?
Yes, you are. And this is a project that even a beginner sewer can sew because all you're doing is sewing straight stitches.
Well, I think I'm pretty much proof of that, since I probably have not sewed since home ec 30 years ago in junior high. Going backwards.
That's just to make sure that the stitches won't come out.
Now we're going to set this up for a zigzag stitch. So I'm going to go right back up to the top where I was at before. We're going to pop this down. I'm going to get my hand out of the way. This sewing machine has a button over here that I'm going to just hit for 2. We got the zigzag set up, and if you come in here, you can see that we have our first stitch here, and just for added support, we're going to put a zigzag stitch down between the edge and the stitch I did before.
Yeah, that's just to reinforce it so the stitching won't come out. This
stitch you can do a little quicker because you don't really have to worry about the edges being lined up anymore because they are already lined up from the first stitch. Good thing about this project is you don't really have to be perfect with everything. Okay, the next step is we're going to work on the top here so that we can put a string through. Now that we got the sides done, we're going to work on the top here. And with the top, it's hard to see, but I have the edge of one of the pieces on the top. Now remember, we left an inch and a half here, and what we're going to do is we're going to fold this down this way, and then we're going to iron it and sew it. And the reason why is because when we roll this top part up, that's where our thread is going to go through, and it's going to be a little easier to get that thread in because there's no edge for it to get caught on. So the last section we showed you that we folded this over, ironed it, and now we have the stitch in here. Now the next step is I took the bottom one and folded it under, and now we're going to just take the edge, and I'm going to just kind of show you. We're going to iron it where it's folded over this way a little bit, and that's going to give you a nicer finished edge. And then we're going to fold it over again like that, and then we're going to iron that and pin it, and then at that point we can sew it. So we're back at the sewing machine, and we have our pins in. We just put our foot down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to sew to the inside edge right here. We're going to try to stay really close to the edge so that we have enough room to slide our drawstring through.
Yeah, that's the inside fold that he's talking about.
The inside fold, yes, over here. And here's this little line here. I'm not a seamstress, so I like to kind of mention this. That's the line where the actual seam is going to be at. Alright, so let's get started. So we're going to go a little forward again. And then we're going to hit this button and a little back. But this thing's really taking shape now.
And on this, as he's doing, he's taking his time because you want to make sure that you stay close to the edge of that fold.
We're trying to get the maximum amount of space in that little gap.
Yeah, that's the casing that he'll be putting.
The casing.
Yeah. He's going to be putting some cord in there. So it's going to be a drawstring bag when he's done.
I really think that you don't necessarily even have to do a drawstring on these.
No, I bet you could just,
finish off the top.
Yeah, finish off the top and then just tie it up if you want.
But that is a nice little touch.
Okay, he's going to do the other side now. So then we'll show you how to finish up.
Alright, now we got our bag and we have the one last step. We're going to take this bag and turn it right side out. And to get our drawstring in there. So I'm going to measure how much string I need. Get that a little fixed up. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just take the string and we're going to want a little extra on the end here, and then that's halfway, and then you can take this spot and then you can do a whole nother length of it, and I'm going to cut it right there. Now we got this end, and we have a safety pin here, and I'm just going to get this through this little loop in there. There we go. And I'm just going to make little overhand knots. So we're going to take this and then we're going to just feed it into the little casing, and then you just start pulling it through. Okay, we got to the end of the other side. You're going to pull it out and simply take this knot out here and then find the other end. I'm going to put the two together, ends together, and then we're just going to do a little overhand knot. So I just wrap it around my finger, pull it through the center, and there you have it. Our bag is done. So now you got your bag here. You can put your produce in or whatever, and then you just cinch it up here at the top, and you got a nice little bag there. Well, that's how you do your DIY produce bag. If you like this video, please like it, comment, and share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.